I'm gonna drive over to the shop over at Southeast there, grab the charger and take it for a drive because I'm anxious to show you now that I've unlocked all the full power, all the performance capabilities. Let's get out there and run some numbers, man. Let's just see what that thing can do when I open it up. And let's talk about some of the good news that's going on around this car that might balance out all of the bad. Service, there it is, service airbag warning, SOS, call not unavailable, emergency call error, service active dampening system, a flashing odometer, and it's only at 46%. Now, I think by now you pretty much figured out when my voice shows up. That means bad news is coming for Brandon, but as much as I hate being the bearer of bad news, and I don't really want to spoil things for the rest of you, I think it's important to point out that this drama's not over just yet. Hang tight, everyone. Stay tuned, and let's just see what happens. I'm going to go back in to the dashboard under race options and select activate launch control. I've got my foot down on the brake. I've got the throttle punched. Here we go. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just get this thing charged up and back on the road and actually do what I intended to do with this video all along. So these are the hyper-fast Electrify America 350 kilowatt. It's like this is charger number 3. So let's see how easy this is to do. This will be my second DC fast charging experience. Hey, we're in. We've got green. It's connecting to the vehicle. Hey, I do still have my free included charging plan through my EV9, so this will save me. Looks like I've got about 20 bucks left in it there. Actually, it looks like out of the 1,000 kilowatt hours I've used on this free plan, I have 878, so I got quite a bit. So let's just kick this off. See how this goes. So I'm just gonna continue there. All right, so we are seeing some lights now on the charge port. Let's see if we can get back in the car. All right. Whoa. Well, hold up. Maybe I spoke too soon. It looks like there's an error message on here. It says charging start error. Cannot be, it's got that CHAdeMO connector lock issue that people have reported with this. So let's unplug it, plug it back in, see if it can fix this issue here.
Hi, thank you for calling Electrify America. My name is Bella. How may I assist you today?
I'm receiving an error code. It's CHAdeMO connector lock readback fail when trying to charge my 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona using one of your hyper-fast 350 kilowatt charging stations. I do have the station ID number if that helps.
Would you mind to transfer in other charging station? Is there any available?
There are others available, but I can almost guarantee you it's going to give me the same error message because everyone with this car that tries to charge using these chargers has the same issue.
Okay, thank you so much. And just to inform you also, Brandon, that I already done rebooting the charging station. So it will take like 2 to 3 minutes while it's processing to reopen again. So please let me know if there's any changes on the charger screen.
I believe part of the problem is the fact that you guys haven't updated your systems to recognize this car. There are only about 2,000 of them sold so far. But just about everybody with this car that's tried to do this runs into this problem, and I think you guys would probably like to capture that revenue. So I would suggest you guys use this as a escalation to get whatever this is fixed, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not completely convinced rebooting this is going to fix this problem. Okay, it says plug in first, so let's do that. All right, it's plugged in. Car is flashing green, indicating it has detected that it's been plugged in. It says connecting to vehicle. All right, let me switch over to the app. All right, I am getting a flashing light. That does indicate it's charging. We may have overcome this issue. Nope, charging start error. Charging cannot be initiated. Please ensure your vehicle is plugged in. And it's the same error code. It's at CHADEMO_connector lock _readback _fail. Well, not having much luck with today's video, folks. And maybe that is just a greater indicator of just how not ready for prime time this car is. I told myself when I leased it, I told myself when I started this channel and I initially focused on this car, that I wasn't going to come at it with any kind of particular preconception, pre-filter, and I was especially going to try to not slide into the negativity that so many others, even those that have never actually ever driven the car, but love to talk about the car, tend to do. But as you can see, today is just an example of one day of life with this car, with somebody who's willing to really kind of overlook and work through many of these problems. If my mom owned this car, and it's not because she's a woman, it's because, you know, she just expects to and has lived most of her life where she gets in a car and it works. It cars. This car isn't carring very well. And as much fun as it is to drive, like driving over here was a blast. I was having a great time. But at some point I have to refuel. Getting it going, wasted an hour of my day. If it weren't for the fact that I'm kind of doing this as a job to entertain all of you, I would have just given up. I said, screw this, I'm getting in the Z4 and I'm gonna go hit some mountain roads, and I would have had a hell of a time today. You might not have been as entertained watching that because there are a million other people on YouTube that can provide you that, but they can't provide you this. And again, I hate to shill myself, but I was the first channel to get this car. I know there are a lot of other people that are out there, but if you haven't subscribed yet, so you can see more of this, you know, whether you're celebrating my my failure here or you're commiserating with me, I really don't care. I'm just glad that you're here. And if you haven't yet, if you could hit that subscribe button, because apparently I'm going to need every dollar I can get to get myself out of the hole I've dug myself into with this car. But let's try this other charger before we just give up on this video and go home. The car is indicating it's charging, but as you can see, the app hasn't updated yet. It says, thank you for choosing. This is where the other one would get to, but nope. Once again. So, Electrify America, if you're out there, you got to freaking fix this issue. This is just unacceptable. At least I'm not in a situation where I'm stuck here in Chattanooga with no fast charging opportunities. And I would be, it would be impossible for me to get back on the road. At least I got 40%. I can get this thing back home. No guarantees it's going to charge there either. But this is a known issue. Others, if you've got a charger and you've tried to use Electrify America and you've run into this issue, can you hit me down in the comments? Let's let EA know just how much this is impacting their customers, and they need to update their software to accommodate this car. Or if it is an issue on Dodge's side of things, then can you guys get your head out your butt and get it to where I can charge my damn car, please? Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's actually go drive, which is what we're supposed to do. I tried. I really, really did try. My plan was to put out the video I did earlier regarding all the bad news about the car. I planned to follow it immediately up with a video focused on all the good stuff about the car. And unfortunately, the car just isn't cooperating. And I think normally some people would be, all right, scrap this. I'll come back another day. But I think I'm going to release this video just as it is, unedited, so you can see this. And hopefully, everyone at Dodge, if you're watching, I'm one of your most tolerant supporters here. But I'm saying that that tolerance level has a limit, and you are bouncing up against it. So if the message isn't coming through clear, let me state this very plainly. I've been waiting over 30 days for parts to fix my car. My control stack, my seat fan still aren't in. I clearly have some issues going on that require updates, as you saw earlier with all the error messages. Why did the car stop charging? Why did it stick at 46% instead of 80? Why did the 12-volt battery crater right before all of our eyes? What's going on? We need answers. We're smart people. At least we like to think we are. This one in particular does. And he's asking you to speak to me intelligently about what is wrong with this car, what your roadmap to fixing it is. We're all very patient people. If you say it's going to take 5 weeks, then it's going to take 5 weeks. Some of us will bail, force you to buy these cars back. Others are going to sit around and wait for that to happen. I just want to get out and drive this car. That's all I've wanted to do all day long. And look where I'm at now. I'm stuck at a charging station, unable to charge, and I'm basically going to take the car back. I'm still going to do some 0 to 60 runs, but I can guarantee you this car is not going to perform at its peak because it only has 40% battery. And given the kind of older battery technology they've implemented in this, means that it's not going to output the same level as it would have at 80 or 90%. But it's what I said I was going to do, and I'm going to do it. And may not be the best numbers, but they are going to be numbers. And then I'm going to go home because I'm ready to relax. It's my Sunday, and this is supposed to be my time off. But hey, everyone watching, thank you so much for joining. Let's head to Mexico, see what we can do. So we're now at 39%. 39% and no real meaningful driving experience to show for that 7% that we lost through this whole situation. You know, and if it weren't for the fact that I still have this unexplained reason for why this car and this car only kills my EVSE, my level 2 charger at home. EV9, no problem. Fiat 500, no problem. Hook up the Dodge Charger to the charger, kills it within an hour. You know, I would just take it home and let it sit for a few hours on that and get up to 80% and we'd be good. I might still have enough daylight to get out and do what I wanted to do. But again, I have to run that at such a low charge level. I think I'm on like 2 or 3 now in this car to charge it, that would just take forever. It's almost pretty much level 1 charging territory. It really is a shame that we have a car with such potential to excite and engage and create a connected experience with the driver for the purposes of what this car was built for, and it is mired with and held back and suffers from so many issues that it's like at some point you just have to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is she worth all the effort? I'm really at that point now where I'm tipping over to say, this may not have been the world's best decision, but hey, at least it's creating content. All right, so here we are in drive modes. I've selected drag. I'm gonna go into drag setup. It's already set up the way I want it. The dash has changed to drag mode. Let me get this switched over to the performance gauges page here, which is sometimes a bit of a painful process. All right, that's there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the menu for the vehicle here. Gonna go to the dashboard. Gonna go to race options. I've already activated race prep. Battery is at a good temperature. We don't have enough power in the battery, but we all know why that is. It says all conditions must first be met, but it actually has let me prep the battery. I'm going to deactivate that, turn off my climate control. We're going to go to launch mode. We're going to activate launch mode. Now at this point I am going to take the camera and put it away so I can have both hands on the wheels, but as you can see, it wants a lot of pressure on the brake, and then it says to punch and hold the throttle. Oh, jeez. Hiya. Okay, that will toss you back. Now, let's see what kind of numbers we got there. I just looked down and noticed that for some reason, not quite sure why, when the car went back when it backed out of the launch control, it pulled me out of the performance pages. So now I don't. So my 0 to 60 performance, it's saying the best that I've done, which I know I've done better than that, is 3.9 seconds. It says the last one that I just did was 6.5 seconds to 60. That doesn't seem right. So let me reset all of those. Let's give this another try, and then I'm just gonna give up for today. I think this idea, this video was dead at the moment I conceived it, unbeknownst to me. And I think I'm just gonna have to accept the L on this one and head home and make best what I can with the remains of my afternoon. All right. Got our speed timers. It says ready. I'm going to go back in to the dashboard under race options and select activate launch control. I've got my foot down on the brake. I've got the throttle punched. Here we go. Oh, lots of wheel spin. Lots of wheel spin. Holy cow, this time it took off. Okay. Haha, yeah. Interesting. So it did it again, where I don't know if you can see it on the camera I've got facing, but when it came out of the launch mode, it dumped me back into the tire pressure screen. Which, come on, guys, like, what else is this car not going to do? All right. So, according to this, that last launch was 3.9 seconds, which is well over, I don't know, well over. I think it's supposed to be, what, 3.5? So maybe what we're seeing there is that half second, that 0.4 of a second, that is a result of only being at 30-something, 38% battery. And until I can get this thing fully charged again, I think trying this is going to be a waste of everyone's time. So with that, I do just want to say thanks again for coming along for this. Hopefully it wasn't as frustrating to watch for you as it was for me to film. Yeah, so I'm going to go take this back over to Southeast. I'm going to grab that BMW. I'm going to hit some twisty roads. Let's do that to wrap this video up. And with that, I just want to go ahead and say thanks again for tuning in. Thanks again for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, please consider doing it before you go. And I hope I can get this issue resolved with the car. Maybe we can try this again sometime. So thanks for coming along with me. Wish things could have turned out better, but I do appreciate you were here for it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Yeah. I mean, immediately, the moment I get in this car, I know that throughout the entire drive time, it will be a positive experience. The whole question of, is something going to go wrong with the car? Is it going to be able to charge when I'm done playing with it? All that's out the window. It's just time to drive and enjoy the drive and nothing else. So let's get to it. Again, I just have to say, I understand where some people are coming from, depending on the types of cars that they've driven, why they might say that the shifter in this Z4 is rubbery. I can sense where they're picking that up from. But still, this is the best manual shifter that BMW offers today. And I have to say, to me, this car is the most compelling package to put one in. And to those at BMW, or maybe specifically at Toyota, that pressed to have this capability added to this car before this generation was put to bed, I salute you. I seriously do. Thank you so much for perfecting this car and allowing it to reach its true potential. Look at that windy road out before us there. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? You've got a nice line around these corners with tons of visibility. And then a very lovely hairpin corner here. Car is like glue. These Sport Cup 2 tires, which now that it's warm enough, I have been anxiously awaiting a chance to get this car out. There are those views. Chattanooga from here. Well, my spirits are improving. This was clearly the medicine I needed to get over my frustration and disappointment with the Charger Daytona. It's just what the doctor ordered. Let's put a smile, back on my face and put me in good spirits as I head home to see how my wife is doing and to enjoy the rest of my evening relaxed at home. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for enduring this experience. Hopefully it has been more entertaining for you than it has been for me this time around, but now that I'm behind the wheel of this car, I might actually just go around the mountain one more time. But until then, you take care, and I will see you in the next video.